Again, our biggest issue thus far has been we've not made plays late in the game or given plays up. We throw another interception in the fourth quarter that kind of blows the game open at the end, which is disappointing. But there's a lot of things that we got to get fixed. We're not where we want to be right now. I've been disappointed with the start, been disappointed with the totality of our play, and there's a lot of things that we got to get better at. But I like the way our team attacks it. We work at it. We just got to get those things to carry over to Sunday.
Was that second and 32 conversion, was that kind of where things broke defensively for you guys?
That's a big play to give up. We get them all the way back to second and 23, and you hope to make it another, at minimum a third and 15 plus, and get the ball back with pretty good field position. Where they were backed up enough to where that field wasn't going to flip the same way it would if they were, in the 45-ish, 50-ish range, and that's usually how you can set yourself up for some success offensively. So giving that up was a big play in the game, and those are the down and distances that you work really hard to get teams into, where you can get them way behind the sticks, and to not take advantage of that was disappointing.
Are there some ways, Brian, I guess obviously 0-4, the numbers aren't great for you guys. Are there some ways that you can point to any improvement either from the end of last season or from the first game of this season? Any areas that you can say, we think we're better in these areas?
Yeah, there's things that are better. I mean, that's hard in the moment, being 0-4 and trying to show a lot of things that are positive. Yes, there's things that are better. I do think we're running the ball well. I think we need more of it, but I think we're running the ball well. There's been some really good things defensively, just not consistent enough over the course of a game to be able to point to that and say that's good enough. I hesitate to say anything at this moment is where we want to be, because we're 0-4 and haven't played a brand of football that would allow us to win a game. So there's definitely things that I see that are encouraging, but we got to do more of it and more of it more often.
You haven't gotten the opportunity to step back and not call the plays. What did you gain on game day from doing that yesterday?
Yeah, it was unique. That was a weird feeling for me, but there definitely was. It was clearer on a lot of, just in terms of, like, there's not that much going on. I just do a lot of listening on both sides and just making sure we're paying attention to where we are situationally and the things that are coming up or could be coming up. I did go try to spend more time talking to the players over the course of the game, so it was trying to find out where I'd fit in like that. That was different. Again, I've only known calling games, as the head coach, so it was a unique experience. Again, I don't know if it was good or bad or not, but it was different, and I felt like there was some positives from it, though.
Potentially get Spears back in the mix this week?
That's potential, yeah. I think we're going to activate him, open up his window. It's a 21-day window he has to get elevated back to the active roster. He's done really well in the course of, especially last week. Some of the workouts and stuff looked really, really good. He'd be a nice addition to get back on the field for us. I'd be pleased to see him back and help Tony out a bit too, because Tony's doing a phenomenal job for us. That'd be nice to get him somebody to complement that.
How do you describe what Cam's going through right now? Do you see him as stagnating, regressing at all, or is it just kind of rookie has to take some lumps?
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to put a regression tag on 4 starts. I think that would be tough. I think he's learning every time he goes out there. I thought there was some really incredible moments over the second half of the Indy game with the amount of things that he saw, how he responded to them, the management of it, knowing where the answers are, understanding how to protect himself, understanding where the ball needs to go. I think there's definitely something he's got to keep improving. There's always the timing and accuracy portion of the passing game tied in with the footwork that are all kind of things we continue to work on. It's hard to play quarterback in the NFL, and he's had to learn some tough lessons, I think, but he's also incredibly willing and incredibly passionate about trying to do things the way that you need to do it. He's understanding what it takes to play NFL quarterback, and again, through 4 games, he's seen a lot of different things in 4 games. The schemes, the rushers, the style, the defenses that we played, all very different, all very good, and he's only going to get better every time he sees those things.
You talk about the timing? Does it have more to do with getting the ball out or timing with receivers?
Let me teach
Where
you
is
how
the
to
timing?
vibe.
It's all of that, and some of it's depending on the play. It's not a one time thing or an all the time thing. There's spots where within a concept of just understanding when to move on, how quick to move on, where to progress, what's the next thing, and how fast does that have to happen. So all of those things are things that it's constantly going to be coached, and you don't just arrive in the NFL a perfect product like that. And but man, he puts the time into it. He works at it, and he understands it. And now it's just to continue to build on the things that he's done well and to keep stacking that stuff.
Yesterday, it felt like yesterday his accuracy and then ball security was a little off from previous weeks. Do you have to guard against that when you're not scoring points against an offense, you're not winning games, that a young quarterback in particular tries to do too much and do it all on himself?
I think that's a great way to put it. You always that's a lot of players. It's a lot of players that know they can be really impactful in games, and they get into moments where they feel like they need to do something other than what's asked of the job. Whatever that coverage or play or what's asked of them to do in that particular down. You always have to be mindful of that, and especially at the quarterback position, because you do feel at that spot some pressure to do more. When really that's not what we need. From a down basis from Cam, we just need him to do his part as one of the 11 guys on the field, and again, got to do things around him better too. But you always want to be careful of trying to do too much. It's usually when bad things happen. When you try to make a bigger play or a more exciting play because you think you have to.
Just gave up play calling.
You think so, Tom?
In light of the results you're getting, is there any inclination to do anything else that would qualify as a shake-up for more for the player?
Are you talking about like people's roles and playing time in that? Is that what you're referring to, or is that?
Or anything?
I think what we need when you're 0-4, sort of everything is always on the table to try to improve and find a place to win. I do think when you sit back and you just say that everything's great, I mean it's not. We're 0-4, and we got to do some things better, and we got to do them different if that's the case. And so nothing imminent to answer the actual question. Nothing imminent in change, but those are always things we're evaluating and looking at. And if there's a place where we can do better and put ourselves in a better spot, then we'll have to do that.
As part of the misfires in the passing game, are the receivers winning their battles enough, and are they winning them on time to help him out?
Yeah, there's been moments where they have, and then moments where we haven't. I think it's always an up and down. There's been really nice moments of wins that we've connected on some. There's been some wins that maybe we missed the throw. And then there's times where we haven't won, and we got to do a better job of that too. I think the general consistency from top to bottom in the passing game, we're still working to improve every day.
Snaps were down for Calvin yesterday. Was that health related or?
Yeah, he was fighting through. He was fighting through it yesterday. Nothing serious, but just those things that happen. Especially guys that run when they get banged up a little bit, they sometimes can't take the normal volume that they've taken before. So he was battling. He battled his tail off yesterday, but certainly was feeling some nicks and bruises.
Was that in the game or leading up to the game?
In the game, yeah.
Fair or unfair, Brian, to characterize this team as regressed from week 1 to week 4?
I think all the games have been different for varying reasons. I think regression is again, 4 games is tough to nail a regression when you've lost them all. I think we've done some really good things in all of the games that we've played. We've just got to find a way to do those things for the entirety of the game and then make the plays that help us win the game in the fourth quarter, which is really where all these games have gotten away from us in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a turnover, it's missed tackles, it's a big run. Those types of things have put some games out of reach that we felt really good about. Heading into that fourth quarter, it felt like we were dancing toe to toe with some of these teams, and we didn't do the things for the last 15 minutes or 12 minutes that we needed to do to win the game.
Joe, what up?
We've never really seen Cam get animated until maybe yesterday in the post-game presser and the way he characterized the team. How do you feel about that? And I mean, it's a good thing for him to set that tone as the quarterback.
I think what everyone is learning about Cam is that he cares a tremendous amount. is really important to him. He wants to win football games. He wants to deliver winning performances for our organization, for our fans. That's what he cares about. There's nothing else that he has any interest in other than playing football and trying to play football at a high level. And those responses, for him, he wears his emotions a little bit out there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, I know where it's coming from, and I know why he's the way he is in those moments, is because he wants nothing more than to play well and win.
You said last week about the challenges of leadership at 0-4. What's the key to getting the guys to still buy in and still believe that do what we say and we'll be on the other side of the ledger?
Well, you keep showing them. You show where things are good, and there's a lot of that. You show where we have to be better, and there's plenty of that. And you're honest about it. You tell the truth, and you fix as many things as you can fix in the short amount of time as you can possibly fix them, and you keep pushing forward. And we got the right kind of guys. They got the right makeup. They understand. They're pros, and that's how this business can be. Sometimes it can be challenging, and you have to play the next play is the best way to put it. And you have to play the next week, and you play the next game, and you have to do everything you can to fix your issues, and you work really hard at that, and you hope that it shows up sooner than later. But we're backs up against the wall a bit, and you have to ball your fist up and fight your way out. There's really not much else you can do.
How much of that has to be player-led? How much of that has to be player-led, Ryan?
I think all the best teams I've ever been on have a really strong player leadership, and I've been really pleased, on the growth in that area from top to bottom. Again, not something that I can point to and say, see, that's not the case, but I know it because I'm around it every day. But the player-led teams are usually the best ones, and the ones that can win the most games are when you have the ability of your team to put the players in the position to understand what you need from them and how they need to respond. And I'm really proud of that part of our football team and the things that they've done. Again, not that show up to anybody watching, but to what I see in the building every day.
Let me teach you how to
Fourth quarter that you're seeing.
Start again one more time.
The imbalance in the fourth quarter. Each game there's been an explosive, multiple missed tackles. What would you say is that fatigue on the defense, or what would you say is happening?
No, I don't think it's fatigue. There's definitely a moment. It's just particularly in this last game. You throw that interception, and all of a sudden it's. I think it was 12-0 at the time. Maybe I can't remember quite exactly the score, but those are moments that can be deflating. Especially when you're playing that way. Again, playing pretty good defense for the majority of the game, and to have that happen, in that big spot where you need something to go your way to capture some momentum back. And I think that's something we got to work on, that response too. Like, we got to go bow up when that happens. But that's something that we're continuing to work on.
You said last week that this game was about who's more desperate to win. In lieu of how it unfolded, what did that tell you about your team and desperation?
I think we didn't do enough of the things that we needed to do from an execution standpoint. In the spots that were big, and you alluded to the 2nd and 23 earlier in the game, we talked about, like, those are the things that you have to do to win games. You can't put yourself in that spot. I think we got to coach better than we did. We got to put ourselves in better spots from some of the schematic choices, and those are things that we continue to look at after every game and try to find what's our best mix of things and how do we best deploy the people we have. So I think we played really hard. We put ourselves in a spot, deep into the game where it was a one-score football game, and again, had a chance for it to be a tie game at that point, but we didn't hit the kicks that we needed to hit. But yeah, there's some things that are really encouraging about the way that they played early, and then we got to find a way to finish.
You mentioned that Thursday was good. A couple players mentioned that Thursday was good. Does Sunday being so bad tell us that Thursday doesn't mean a lot?
I think practice always means something. I mean, it's an important part of the process, and the only way you know how to judge on where your team's at is how you practice, and that part of what we do has been really positive, and I appreciate the way the guys work. I appreciate the intensity they practice with. I mean, all the things that pointed to a winning style week were all there, and that's the disappointing part, is to not see enough of it show up on Sunday.
Let me teach you how to
but
vibe.
how we practice is always going to be a really, really important factor in winning and losing football games.
How close was Dan to not playing? How do you think him and Ole did? And then how optimistic are you about
potentially getting JC back this weekend?
Yeah, Dan was really close to not playing. He woke up in the morning and was battling some legitimate sickness, and we worked him out at about 10 o'clock ish, 10:10, to see if he's going to be able to go. And he said, I got you. I'm going. But that was right up against the 90-minute mark that we had to turn in actives in. So we were right up against it, and he gave it everything he had, and I appreciate that about him. For him to go out there and battle that way against the players he had to go battle against was good. I thought that he had some moments, against great pass rushers and one-on-one spots that he had some wins and he had a couple losses, and that's usually what happens when you play against those guys. Ole was solid. There's things that we tried to help both those guys wherever we could, because again, those two edge rushers are probably two of the better ones in football, and so we tried to help where we could. But I thought Ole had a solid performance. Again, still got to play better than we did up front for sure. But I thought that in a reserve role against a really good player, he had some moments that were really positive.
JC, just
two more guys. Do you have assurances that you're going to be able to see this through this season, where you're not looking over your shoulder after every Sunday?
Yeah, I don't, whether I do or I don't, or it doesn't matter to me. My job is to try to put our team in position to win as many games as possible, and to keep coaching until the day comes that they don't want me to coach here anymore. And that's the reality for everybody that coaches in the league. You don't think too much about it. I don't look for assurances. I can tell you I've always been supported here. I've always felt like the people that I have to work with on a day-to-day basis believe in what we're doing and how we're doing it. But again, I also know how the NFL works. So yeah, I go in every day and I work as hard as I possibly can to try to put ourselves in good position, and I do that for as long as they'll have me. And that's the only way I've ever known how to work. That's how I've worked every spot I've ever been. Your assurances come from how you play and you win. That's at the end of the day. That's just how it always goes. So we got to get ourselves to that spot.
Last year there were a lot of turnovers and mistakes made in the name of trying to make a big play and get an explosive play. But this year there've been a lot fewer of those type plays, but there's also been a lot fewer explosive plays. Have you guys been more conservative by nature in your calls and how you want to approach?
I think it's a mix of a lot of those things. I think part of it's a rookie quarterback. Trying to make sure that you're putting them in the right spots. Part of it is, we lose our starting right tackle, 3 quarters into the season, and you're trying to help manage that, and you're trying to find ways to be explosive while trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. It's sort of this kind of continual flow of things that you're trying to balance, and try to run the ball to help. You're trying to lean on the running game to help a young player too. So all of it has parts where it factors in. And we've taken plenty of shots down the field. They've been called. We've tried to get the ball down the field, and whether the ball gets checked down or we have to move off our spot and we don't get the throw, there's certainly been calls that the ball hasn't gone down the field too, which is another part of it. So it's all of those things, and we're trying to do the best we can to help a young quarterback and take some of the pressure off him, while still trying to give him opportunities to make some plays down the field.
The play caller sort of indefinitely, I guess, and if so, is there rust at all in something like that when a guy is just getting started?
Yeah, I think that's to be expected. That changes a lot about your process when you're trying to get ready to call a game. And there's some ththings that he'll keep growing and keep learning. And again, I don't think we're at the spot where we make anything indefinite, but I think we're just going to keep on pushing.
In terms of a positive, just play, how good has he been? How good was he yesterday?
Man,
when we talk about player leadership, how much do you point to his play and hope guys follow along?
I'm happy you asked that and gave me an opportunity to point it out, because Jeff has played at a level that I've not seen many defensive players play at. He's been absolutely fantastic in every way, shape, or form you could ask of him. I don't know that there's somebody playing interior defensive line at the level he's playing at right now. I mean, he's been phenomenal. He's been super disruptive in the running game. He's getting pressure and push on the quarterback. And then I think what the area that I'm probably the most proud of him and excited for him is his leadership and how he carries himself and talks to the team. And that area of his professional growth has been incredible. it's really been cool to see that maturity process in the leadership role. It's cool. It really is. And he's backing it up with how he plays. And I point him out all the time because, you know, you got a team of guys that can play like Jeff plays. Now, Jeff's also supremely talented. He's one of the top players in his position for a reason. But he backs it up with how he works and how he plays and the effort he plays with and the tenacity he plays with. And then on top of that, he's really grown in a leadership role. So he's been fantastic.
I don't want to get you in trouble on this, but did you get any explanation on how the penalty wasn't called on the hit to the helmet right in front of you?
I did not. I made a lot of stink about it to those guys, and I kept asking them how did we not see that? You know, and those are always when there's that many guys on the boundary, and you know, there's 2 or 3 guys in front of him, and he got a pretty good shot right on the top of his head, and I was mad about it. Certainly that wasn't called. I felt like that should have been a penalty, and again, you can't control what they call and don't call, but you know, I felt like that was a pretty clear roughing the passer.
Is there a sense of hopelessness in the building, Brian?
Hopelessness? I sure hope not. I don't feel hopeless. I know that. I don't sense that from anybody that works in our building. I don't sense that from our players. Look, we're in a rough stretch. You know, we're 0-4, and that doesn't feel good. No one's excited about that, but I do feel their willingness, and you know, there's an excitement about trying to climb out of it too. There's something about that's real competitors relish that challenge, and I think we got a bunch of competitors on our team and on our coaching staff and in our building that are going to fight like crazy to turn this thing, man. That's the fun part about these jobs is you get in these adverse situations and you're trying to find a way out. And trust me, I've done it before, been a part of it before in a couple places, but that reward and that feeling there's nothing like it. And that's what keeps me going is that moment where we could find a way to get it turned is really something that you can't find anywhere, that feeling of accomplishment. And I think that's what drives us. And I think our guys are excited about the chance to go try to prove it.
See any similarities between this and the 2019 Bengals?
You know, similarity. They're very different teams in very different places. But I think, you know, we went through a similar style where, you know, we won 6 games in 2 years. And that was a really challenging time for us. It was a challenging time for Zach Taylor. And all you can do is draw back on those experiences and on what got you out of it and how you got out of it, what things mattered, what things didn't. And having lived it, you know, you know what it feels like. So this is not a foreign place. I've felt this before. But again, that turn was remarkable. And it was a really incredible accomplishment, and that's what keeps us going.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Group as far as cohesion.
So pushment, and that's what keeps us going.
Oh, absolutely. You know, looking over the film, all like yesterday, all the last couple of weeks, you know, there's opportunities all over. You know, there's still hope. We see things. You know, they're not getting executed at the moment, but there's chances out there. So it's all on us right now. We just got to start executing, and good things are going to start happening.
What did you think? I don't know if you saw, you know, Cam's comments at the podium yesterday with like kind of frustration levels fairly high. As a veteran, you know, can you talk to him about that kind of the situation? Any words of advice you can share with him, and you know, moments like that?
You know, I think you know, he's fiery right now. He's a competitive guy, and I know he's taking a lot of this to heart. You know, he cares a lot, and he wants to get things going here too, and he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. But you know, that's what you want from your QB. You know. He has high standards. He wants to play better. He knows everyone wants to play better. And, you know, we just got to keep pushing through the week every week, getting better. And once it starts executing, you know, we'll get going.
Since training camp, you guys have expressed confidence in your ability to run the football with this offensive line. Yesterday you had some success, but you couldn't sustain it. How do you sustain the running game to help this offense out?
You know, I think, like you said, we did some good things yesterday, which was pretty nice. And, you know, you just keep working out. You keep pounding, you know. TP keeps running and breaking tackles, and we just got to, you know, keep ourselves in good position, you know, so we can continue that into the fourth quarter.
I feel like you guys are as a group as far as cohesiveness and kind of gelling at this point.
Honestly, considering everything that's happened, I'm pretty happy, you know. I've had good work with Juice and Oli over at right tackle, and, you know, it's really unfortunate JC's been missing time, but it's also kind of a blessing. We have our other guys getting some work in now early in the season. So God forbid we need it late in the season, at least people have some, in-game experience. And I think each week we've been getting better and better, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, you've been a part of some quality organizations, so you know what it's supposed to look like. What would you say are some of the things you may have seen here that give you a sign that this organization can get there?
I think more so than anything right now, kind of like I said, watching the film, you see the opportunities that are on film. It's just like an inch away, one block away, ball out on time type thing here and there. And then the opportunity is like, it's close. So, that gives you hope. So it's on us now to, buckle down, get back to work, and, get it executed.
Well, what about more from a culture perspective?
Culture, I think, is honestly really good, considering, we're in a hole right now. It is what it is. But the team, the locker room, how tight they are, there's competitiveness in the locker room. You're talking about like Jeff playing, like just dominating out there no matter what the situation. It's awesome. Other players playing really well right now. So it's right there, And as soon as like things start executing, like everything's just going to take off.
Jeff, what did you know about him from afar, and what's it been like competing against him on the practice field and kind of seeing him on a regular basis?
Before I got here playing against him, always knew he's one of the top D tackles in the league. And then having to deal with him in practice every day, that just reaffirmed it and made my life miserable. But, Jeff, everything he gets, he deserves. He's a fiery, competitive son of a gun. And, he just doesn't do it in practice. He takes it to the game field every single week. And, it's really impressive to watch. I'm glad he's on our team.
And Kevin, what's the key to finding success in the fourth quarter when it's fleeting?
Don't get you a pair of gloves, man.
I think we've done a lot of good things, for the first 3 quarters, and then the key is, now it's time to finish up both offense, defense, special teams in the fourth, get it going, and, we just got to keep putting ourselves in good positions, and, we just got to get it done.
Is there any secret, though, to carrying that over? Because you haven't been able to do it, I guess, up until now.
Yeah,
so.
There really isn't a secret, it's all about execution late in the game, and that's what we got to do, and it's as simple as that.
You guys been in the league as long as you have. Do guys look to you for some direction right now with the hole that you're in?
I've been part of some very good organizations. I've been on some, rougher teams as well, and, what I keep telling them, good things happen to those who keep going, and right now it's on us. We got to keep going. Like, it is what it is, but, 0-4, it doesn't matter right now. We got to keep rolling. We keep going, and some good things will start happening.
You were in Detroit when you guys dug out of that thing, right?
No, I was only there for last year. Yeah, so I came in at a good time.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
The time you spent in Cleveland, you saw the bad end and climbing out of it. Are there lessons you can draw on or maybe share with us about how that turnaround took place and how that can be translated at all?
So like when I got to Cleveland, it was the 0-16 year, and, we built the base up pretty good that year. It wasn't fun, but it was part of it. The guys never quit. Everyone kept working, and no one enjoyed it. But, that, angst and anger, it just set us up for the next year, and we were firing,
gonna dunk on
pretty quickly, and it was fantastic. So kind of like I've been saying, like, you just got to keep going. We've got so many good pieces and great players, and we just got to, put it all together, and we'll go.
Did you guys see the hit that Alshire had on Cam that probably could have been a roughing the passer?
That, in my opinion, that was a shot to the helmet with a forearm, and it is what it is, and, just the league. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't, and that's just what it was.
So you guys weren't given any kind of explanation on why it wasn't a call?
I haven't heard anything, but, it is what it is.
Better yesterday, despite the fact you guys are going against some pretty good edge guys. What was the line maybe doing a little better than previous games, do you feel like?
I'm just going to give a ton of praise to Ollie out there. Like him going toe-to-toe, they have some great edge rushers, and Ollie did a fantastic job, I thought, given the situation, going out there and competing. And, I was really impressed with him. It was pretty great. And then overall as the line, like, tough crew. And then, as the game gets that way late in the game, puts a lot of pressure. But I think the guys held up nicely, played well, and, just keep it rolling.
How eager are you for the interior 3 to kind of take a game over and give you guys a chance, maybe to put one away if you have a lead late?
Oh yeah, no, there's no better feeling than like when you get to a 4-minute drive in a game and you're able to do the things you need to do to win. Like, it's just a great overall feeling, puts confidence throughout the whole team, and you just want to keep doing it week after week after week. And And, when that opportunity comes up this year eventually, I'm excited for us to get it done.
How you feel like that? You're connected with Lloyd and Peter as far as working together?
I think we're doing great. I think Pete is an outstanding talent, and Lloyd, his ability to move and his ability to call the offense is really fun to play with. It's a really fun interior to be a part of.
That's good.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
What game mode y'all on right now? What game mode y'all on right now? He said laugh and stop. Discord open, anybody want to rap? I think Cedric Gray is the only one that's got to go on and talk. If anybody want to rap, man, playing rank, finding out my old eyes hands, can't keep up no more. What level you at where you trying to get to? KT say practice.
Very sore, very sore.
Yeah.
I'm good. Just ready to recover, get back to it.
The more you play, how much more comfortable you feel like you're in the flow of the game and anticipating things better?
Yeah, definitely just,
we're gonna look at the roster after this.
The more experience you get, the more information you're able to gather, and just learning experiences. And I think I've been able to do that all throughout last year, all throughout this off season, preseason, and continuing that even during the season, and just growing as a player.
You get a front row seat at Jeffrey Simmons and what he's able to do. How would you describe the way he's dominating, and how much does that help you, do some of the things that you need to do?
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey is a great player. He's got great get off, very explosive, physical, but quick at the same time. So I think he's able to kind of use that to his advantage, going up against offensive linemen. They don't know if he's going to power or use some speed. And you saw in that one particular play, he just got off the ball and just got to the quarterback pretty quickly. So you love playing behind guys like that. It makes my job easier.
That
Let me teach you how
17
to vibe.
tackles. Did it surprise you ever had a game, college, high school, anything like that with 17?
I've had a few like that in my college days
DeAndre,
and in high school. You kind of just get a
D'Angelo
groove
Evans,
going.
Stephen B. Cone,
You
what up?
feel it, kind of catch a little bit of fire. And, sometimes plays come your way more in certain games than others. And I was just able to make them.
How do you feel like, as a defense as a whole, you guys kind of kept the team in it for a long time and then kind of gave way in the fourth quarter? When you look back at a game like that, I guess, what do you think about the overall performance?
Yeah, I mean, defense played a pretty solid game first 3 quarters, and then all hell broke loose in the fourth quarter, which unfortunately has kind of been a theme for us defensively this year. So we have got to find a way to, come together and figure it out, later in these games, late third quarters, fourth quarters, to how to continue our defensive performances that they've been like.
The impact of not having Tavondre there, for the last few games, and how does that impact you guys, especially inside linebacker?
Yeah, well, you obviously, love having a guy like, Tavondre in there. He's a big body guy. He plays hard, plays well, takes up both of the A gaps for you. So he's definitely a guy that you kind of miss being out there. But, I've honestly believed that, the guys that we have had in there, Shy, James, Jeffrey, just to name a few, I thought they've, played pretty solid. So, yeah.
What would you say is happening on some of those, like the late game runs, where it's an explosive and there's missed tackles, and it seems like it's like a pile up of things, and it just pops right then and there.
Yeah, I really can't put my finger on why exactly it's happening. But I do know that it's all kind of happening so fast. It's, like you said, we're playing good football, and 2-3 plays later, and it's like boom, just 2-3 touchdowns. So like I said, we have got to find a way to survive these woes later in the game.
You feel like the locker room is still pretty much unified despite the struggles?
Tell me how Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, I definitely feel unified. I don't think anybody's really pointing the finger at anybody. I mean, there's enough blame to go around. Nobody is perfect. That's why we are 0-4. But I think there's definitely a sense of the team like, we got to figure this out. Nobody's coming to save us. We're kind of tired of saying the same things after every game. Oh, we got to do this better, that better. We got to go do it.
Up until maybe just before the start of the season, it was kind of neck and neck with you and James for starting job there. What do you think from that point to now? What sort of clicked in that you've seemingly taken things up, significant level since then?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I've always believed in myself, and I feel like I've just always tried to grow as a player, and get better. And when I step on that field, just giving my all and empty the tank, and whatever happens, happens.
All good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
We'll just delete that comment. It's too long. Sound like it's gonna be some bullshit at the end. Sound like it's gonna be some bullshit at the end of that. I got the Titans current roster up. Let's have some fun though. Let's have some fun, right? I ain't reading all that. It just sounded like it was gonna be some bullshit at the end. Like some old, like weird sexual shit. Like I ain't got time for it. All right, so look. This how the Titans look right now, man. And for the Titan fans in the chat, you know, Comedy 2 Times don't like to see stuff. He want us to talk about the Giants. Then we start talking about the Giants, and he don't want us to talk about the Giants. Is that how it works? Two times when you don't want us to talk about the Giants. You feel me? But this how the Titans look right now. Like when I'm seeing people argue in my comments, like, bro, look at this team. Oh, let me get myself off the screen and make it bigger so y'all can see it. Oh, look. Let me scroll so y'all can see the whole. Oh. 66. Yes. Let me do this. All right, yeah, there it is. All right, look. Out of here. He's doing too much. All right, so look.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
With my Tennessee Titan fans at, like, this is what this roster look like. For those that's not Tennessee Titan fans, this is what the roster looks like. Like, does this look like you win games with this? Like, does this look like a roster that you win games with? Bipolar, man. Do you look like you win games with this offense? All right, now this is what I would do. I said that to say this. This is what I would do. If I was Bergonzi, I'd get all the chefs out the kitchen and I would do this. Lockett gotta go. I have a real long talk with Calvin Ridley. And then I trade him. And I take Van Jefferson and give him his spots. A.O. Monner would be there. I put DK right there. Restrepo will be getting spots with DK right there. And when he come off from being injured, I take Bryce Oliver and put him right there. And after I traded Calvin Ridley, I try to find a way to trade for a young receiver that's like somewhere around 25 or less and try to get him into this mix. I mean, honestly, like, I would re-sign Chig just so I'd have him in case I wanted to move him. But Jonnu Smith was the best tight end we had since Delaney Walker, talent-wise. He led the league at tight ends and touchdowns last season. We haven't really replaced that level of talent. Chig has that level of talent. The offense just ain't good enough to where he can be the part to produce. Gunnar Helm hasn't learned to block well enough yet. I think he will as the season go on. But I think you gotta the Titans gotta start re-signing the people that they draft that are actually good. They're paying out. Then I think Udo is the swing man with Crenshaw Dixon. And then I think that JC Latham comes back healthy. You get your line looking back like it's supposed to look. You got two good swing tackles now because Udo actually played pretty good. But I think the Titans got to look in areas of trying to bring in a young receiver, and then too when the guys get healthy, I think once the guys get healthy, you'll be able to bring back Tajay Spears and Khalil Mullins once they get healthy. And then your backfield gets a little bit more strong with Tajay and Khalil back. Now let's go to the defense. Xavier Woods has played good. He's missed a couple tackles in some tough spots. The Puka Nacua tackle. And like the one Sunday on the left side and the RJ Harvey. He gives up spots in the long runs that we give up. I will say that. But he played solid pretty much the whole game. I ain't really tripping on him. Cedric Gray has emerged. Cody Barton is Cody Barton. James Williams kind of been disappointing that he got those penalties and got benched. Him and Mousy is basically special teamers right now. Kazir White and has been spelling. Hook has not played good this year, but Kevin Winston Jr. should be back soon. Snead is the one I would have traded. I would have kept Brownlee Jr., but I know that he'd probably rather go to the Eagles or another team, but I would trade Snead. And if the Seahawks was trying to get rid of Woolen and not pay him, I would trade and get Tariq Woolen and put Tariq Woolen right here. Darrell Baker and Amar Davis spelled spots this past week. I think you got to re-sign Roger. He's been the most productive person from his draft class. He's been the most solid corner we've had in Nashville since he's been there. Sign him, give him his money. Sign Jeff to a longer deal, keep him there. I think Arden Key and Draymond Jones have done absolutely nothing. I would move and let Femi start, and I give Jalen Harrell them reps. And then I'd go I go trade and try to give me some edges or sign me some edges to play in these spots and let the young guys get some burn, bro. I ain't even capping, bro. Like, I'm just being real. You know, Titans got Womack. Titans got Womack now. I do that, and I try to trade and get some young talent at edge in that cornerback, and then because you know next season is gonna look like this. You know next season is gonna look like this anyway, so I'm just saying, on the defensive side, I would re-sign McCreary. I'd trade Snead. I'd try to trade for like a Tariq Woolen and give him a contract. I'd pay Jeff. I'd move Femi and Harold in. I'd get rid of Key and Draymond Jones. I'd move Van Jefferson to the spot where Reed is at. I would trade Reed and try to trade for a young wide receiver out there somewhere that a team don't want to pay or having issues with. I've heard people talk about Atlanta getting rid of Kyle Pitts. I'd put Kyle Pitts with Gunnar Helm. I like Chig, but I'd take Kyle Pitts and Gunnar Helm and deal Chig. Or if I got a team friendly deal, I'd sign Chig and still try to get another young tight end, bro. I don't know, man. I feel like when JC come back, I feel like the line will be back solid like it needs to be. Udo, Crenshaw, Dixon, Blake Hands, Jackson Slater, Corey Levin, all would have been and got snaps. I feel like the line would not be perfect, but the line will be trending in a better direction because they actually blocked Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson pretty good this weekend. Trading them before the trade deadline. I just think Calvin Ridley is not a long-term solution at wide receiver 1. And if he's not going to be wide receiver 1 and you're going to have him at the 2 or the 3 and you paying him that much money, production-wise, I feel like just put Van Jefferson in and just try to trade for a young wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in this side, you got Chig. If you can't trade to get like a Kyle Pitts or something, just sign Chig and let him and Gunner work. Then on defense, our trades need, and I'd put Amar Davis, Darrell Baker, Marcus Harris, Samuel Womack, and I'd re-sign Roger McCreary, and I'd try to make a trade for Woolen. They don't want to pay him in Seattle. Trade for him, put him out there, let him be cornerback. And then you go into next draft knowing I need to draft a really good corner. My safeties is good. I need to get more on the edge because you'll get like this actually looks more solid now when T-Sweat come back. Because you gotta think when T-Sweat come back off of IR, you gonna have Big Jeff and T-Sweat down there. Femi is a project. Femi gonna grow. Harold is like, what's the difference between having Jahad Ward and Harold and having Arden Key and Draymond Jones? Like, Draymond Jones and Arden Key hasn't done nothing. Like, they just haven't, bro. Arden Key got a sack this week, but it was a coverage sack. You know, I ain't trying to take nothing away from the dude, but I mean, this roster does not look good. That's why I say, like, I'll feel good if they can make some trades and get some young talent and sign that young talent and still have 120 million coming in the cap next season with a high draft pick. Trade that draft pick back to get more picks and then try to load up and see if you can't get you a young running back of the future. See if you can't get a couple of wide receivers. See if you can't get some defensive backs and some edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? Like, just some overall talent. As this roster, I know y'all like can't see it in real time the way I see it because you're not a Titan fan, but if you reset this lineup back to where it was and how the Titans roster look right now on game day, like, bro, you played the Broncos, a playoff team, the Rams, a playoff team, the Texans, a playoff team, and the Colts this year while they was undefeated, which Colts will probably be a playoff team this year if they continue playing the way they have. With this roster, like, who are you gonna beat? Like, who of these people I'm showing you scares you? And for all the people that say don't draft Cam Ward, trade back and draft an edge rusher. Okay, let's say you did trade back and Abdul Carter's off the board. Who are you gonna get? Because Will Levis underwent surgery. You would have had Brandon Allen would have been QB1 to start this season, bro. Like, nothing changed. Like, people act like if you didn't draft Ward and you roll with Levis, like, Levis underwent surgery that ended his season, preseason. So, I mean, if you didn't draft Ward and Will Levis was hurt, who was going to play quarterback? But I'm going to be real, though, Corey. Like, saying Ellick is our number one, he might be the most productive receiver we have right now. But if you was getting ready to play a good NFL team that's going to make the playoffs, if Ellick Aomaner is the one person you worried about, you're really not worried about the Titans scoring points. That's why we didn't score points Sunday if Ellick Aomaner is our number one guy. Aomaner is like the new NWI. He's a really good dude that can dunk. But if that's the case, you can't have Tyler Lockett in the slot. The dude don't have 100 yards receiving on the season. You got to get, I think you need to put Restrepo and Chim DK in the slot, and you got to make a trade to get a solid young. Now we should spend more time talking about that, right? Like what young wide receivers that is looking for a deal this upcoming season. Neighbors is out. The Giants gonna be looking.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Like, go down this list of wide receivers of people who aren't signed to a team or a team that doesn't need them, like JSN and Marvin Harrison and Tetroa McMillan and Malik Neighbors, Zay Flowers, Puka Nakua. These guys ain't going nowhere. You need to find somebody somewhere. You know, Debo just got to Washington. Ricky Pearsall is doing his thing. Jacoby Myers, Tyquan Thornton is now balling for the Chiefs a little bit. All these people that we going through naming, like Lad McConkey, Roma Dunza, like these guys are not leaving their team. You know what I'm saying? Like these are guys that ain't going nowhere. So I don't know what the Titans are gonna do. If that's the case, you probably have to keep Calvin Ridley. So L'Jarius Sneed would be the person that I would be trying to deal first. And I'd be trying to get Tariq Woolen. But there's got to be some teams that are down in the dumps that have receivers that they want to deal or move. And the Titans got to be open to trying to get whoever is out there. They really do. Because there's nobody in free agency. It's nobody in free agency. The Giants is trying out Ruggs. I mean, these are all the guys that's gonna come off the books. Christian Kirk is on the Texans. He ain't going nowhere. Mike Evans is on the Buccaneers. He ain't going nowhere. Debo not going nowhere. All these guys are kind of older too. Jacoby Myers, Alan Lazard. Brown is on the Jags. Tutu Atwell after having that game winner, I don't think he's going nowhere. Like I don't see nobody up here. DeAndre Hopkins, Traylon Burks. Like who in this list are you realistically saying like I'd try to bring in to be wide receiver 1 or 2? Ain't nobody on this list, nobody that the Titans should go after. Like George Pickens ain't leaving the Cowboys. Like it's really not a lot of options out there for guys that are young and are good that the Titans really like. The Titans are gonna have to grow their wide receivers through the draft. You see what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have to get their guys through the draft. Like I just don't see nobody on this list that is somebody that the Titans can bring in. Like 4 or 5 guys on this list are Titans. They're gonna have to get the wide receivers through the draft, bro. Like they're not gonna be able to get no wide receivers through free agency. And if you was one of these players, like why would you want to go to Nashville? Like you wouldn't want to go to Nashville. Titans in a spot. Titans in a spot. So I guess looking at it that way, you got to keep Calvin Ridley and hope he can turn it around. But defensive back like Snead got to go, bro. And I don't know Snead. Snead might be a real dog and just, I don't know, but just the way his energy was after that game with the media, like, bro, I get it. You upset, but you talk trash that week and you gave up a 2nd and 33. Like, you got dunked on and you got a DPI on another spot. I just don't know, bro. You know, when you look at some people and you just like, do bro even care? Like, he got a championship with the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a championship with the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already has a Super Bowl championship and he got a $90 million contract. Like, and I was arguing with somebody else, like, he doesn't have the motivation to even care to get out of this situation. For him, it's like, man, let me go play on Sunday. I'm going to get my paper. If they trade me, I'm going to go to a better team. Like, you can't give. like the Titans was 3-14 and the worst team in the league. Like he can only get traded to a better team. Wow, I just got this out of my 80 overall player just wound up being Mark Andrews. We'll take that. He said Tyreek Hill, he just got hurt. Tyreek Hill ain't playing no football. No disrespect. Love Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't like the Titans Titans fans can't think of like getting somebody with a name. We need to get somebody that's like 23, 24. See how the Jets got Jarvis Brownlee? They got Jarvis Brownlee and people like, who is Jarvis Brownlee? Jets fans like, yo, bro, who is Jarvis Brownlee? Like, we got to get guys, like, but all Titan fans know, like, the best corner on our team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's the best corner on our team. Like, we got to get guys like that, the other teams. That's why I say Tariq Woolen would be a good spot. Former what? 4th or 5th round draft pick, 6'4" corner. That's the type of thing we need in Nashville. That's terrible stat, man. Nah, what up? Odell. Man, you tripping. Hey, who won that Dolphin game, or are they still going?
And then throw it away. Chased by John.
Yeah, spam bots is out, bro. Miami beat the Jets 27-21. Yeah, I seen the Tariq shit. I ain't want to look at that, bro. That shit. Yeah, that shit was not nothing I wanted to look at. But any Titan fans, the Discord is open if y'all want to hop in, y'all want to talk, y'all want to voice y'all frustrations, y'all, you know, so put y'all 2 cents in, you know, and even non-Titan fans, bro, just football fans in general, man. I don't know what's gonna happen in Nashville. I actually felt bad for Brian Callahan today. Today was the first day I felt bad for him because I was like, bro, the ownership sent him up there after they traded Jarvis. The ownership didn't go get enough in the offseason. The ownership, the general managers. Those people are the ones making the decision with the personnel, and you sending a head coach out there to get like, and people that don't know Titans media, like a lot of y'all don't know the Titans media, so y'all like, damn, I'm like, bro, Titans media is rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't nothing, like, for all us Titan fans, we know, like, Nashville media is rough. Like, they don't care, bro. Like, they're not holding back. Like, they're there to rip your heart out. You know, like, they're not there to play around with you. Like, PK, TD, Buck, Tyler Rowland, Jared Stillman, I know Jim Wyatt don't say nothing bad about the team, but even Jim Wyatt was a little frustrated with the things going on in Nashville. And, you know, all these people that are in the Titan media, just like, they just sick of the BS, bro. Along with the fans, like, Nashville media, like, they ain't playing the radio with you. They letting him take all the blame, and that's my problem is they letting him take all the blame as if Chad Brinker and Burke Nihil wasn't there to say, we crushed the hire, or yes, we needed to move on from Vrabel, or yes, that Rand needed to go. He wasn't 100%. Talking about he slept on the plane coming back from one of the games or something, like. And then when Rand was talking to the when Rand did his podcast, Rand said that's the only time I got to sleep. He's like, I literally didn't sleep. So they was making it seem as if he was lazy. And he's like, bro, like that's the only time I got sleep was on the plane. And when he explained it like that, then it's like, ain't nobody could come back and refute what he's saying. Is like, bro, like, I didn't sleep during the time I was running the team. All I could think about was trying to find ways to make us get better. If they thought that I was sleeping because I was lazy, he's like, that's just not the truth. And now it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense. Like the people that wanted him out of there have gotten there and they have no clue what's going on. They don't want to take no responsibility for they don't want to take no responsibility for the coaching hires and some of the personnel decisions. And they sending Brian Callahan, which any fan with any kind of sense knows, like Brian Callahan ain't the one who make personnel decisions. A coach on the hot seat don't get to make personnel decisions. So like, won't y'all at least just take credit for the personnel decisions y'all making, and they not. But you got, that's why I say that I hate to say this, the Tennessee Titan fan base as a whole, not the ones that be around me, as a whole are pretty stupid. And I don't mean to say that to disrespect the fan base or none of the state of Tennessee, but I'm just being real. Like, listening to how the fans react to stuff, like, bro, y'all slow? Like, do you think Brian Callahan traded Jarvis Brownlee? Okay, if you think that, do you think Mike Vrabel traded AJ Brown, not John Robinson? You see what I'm saying? Like, there was a decision came all the way from the top with Rand to let Derrick Henry go. That would, like, if people want to be real, the biggest detriment to Will Levis' progression as a QB in Nashville was letting Derrick Henry go, because when Derrick Henry plays, you get single high safety looks. Teams have to match up with you a different way. And you seen Lamar Jackson have all-time high numbers with Derrick Henry in the backfield, with the number 2 leading rusher that was accountable for 2,000 yards last year. When you put something like that in the backfield, look at the Eagles with Saquon Barkley healthy. Look at the 49ers when McCaffrey is healthy. When you got a guy like that, look at the Lions have Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. When you put that type of sauce in the backfield, like the emergence of James Cook and on the Bills, when you put that type of running game in with a young quarterback, it masks when you don't have a really good offensive line, when you don't have a good 5. That right tackle don't look so bad when the defensive end got to compromise every play because Derrick Henry might get a stretch play. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all seen some of the plays that I showed y'all, that I broke down, where team where they was leaving Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter unblocked. There's no Derrick Henry back there. He don't have to check the running back before beelining the quarterback on bootlegs when you want to go unblocked, because the run motion is sucking in all the action. That's the problem. When they took Derrick Henry out the mix, now you got people playing 2 high safeties and blitzing and covering, and then Will Levis does what a young quarterback do, is throw hot and throw picks. You seen the same thing with Cam Ward, because like Tony Pollard not having 100-yard games. He might get a few yards, but I mean, his long runs be like 10 or 15 yards. Like, he's not house calling nobody. So now, like, the offensive line looks worse when you can't just set a 5-step drop. He can drop back and just have time to go through his progressions and throw the football. It's just not realistic. The Buffalo Bills offense is so good because they play action half the time. You know, like, certain teams that have really good offenses have things that are built into the offense that has built-in protections. Like, if Jalen Hurts takes the ball and puts it in the gut of Saquon Barkley, and pulls back, every linebacker and every safety have to stop and look at Saquon before they do anything. So it's just like a built-in protection of, we can show run action and move the pocket. We can show run action and move the quarterback, you know, in situations where you know you're going to be able to successfully run the football. Like, it just makes life easier. And I think that was the biggest setback for Will Levis, is not having that solid run game that holds a defense, that holds a linebacker, that keeps the edge rusher for 1 extra second when you give play action motion. If not, you get Cam Ward, pick up a couple of first downs, get across the 50, orbit reverse motion to Chimere DK throwback pass. Come on, bro. Danielle Hunter was just standing there by next to Cam Ward like, bro, y'all can't be serious. A flea flicker. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson beat their man, and the flea flicker like damn near got fumbled. It's a big problem when you can't run the football. When you can't run the football effectively, yes, your left tackle don't it looks like he get beat every play. So some part of the offensive line is bad, but the scheme is even worse, that they don't have anything that's built into their scheme to slow down a pass rush. And I showed y'all on the telestrator how you gonna go unblocked on Will Anderson on the far side, but then you got your double tight ends on this side. Like, don't you think you need to have your tight end on the edge to slow down Will Anderson? You see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that they think things through, and then you leave a backup right tackle free with Will Anderson. What is he going to do? He's going to beat him across his face. He's going to take too far of a drop because he don't want to get beat on the edge instantly, and then Will Anderson undercuts him and goes and hits the quarterback. Like, I just don't understand the logic of how they think through things. But I will say, not having Derrick Henry for Will Levis was his biggest setback. For Cam Ward, is just simply he don't have enough talent around him, and the scheme is bad. Snake behavior, Rand was a scapegoat. Oh yeah, we know that. That's why I say, like, Bergonzi got to stop and say, Birkenau Hill, if you want to do the stadium, go do the stadium. Get out the way with football. Chad Brinker, I'm sorry. Go do a podcast and explain how you stab Rand in the back. Said Barkley last year and this year different. I disagree. The Eagles are undefeated. I don't know what y'all want from the Eagles. Like, if you in the NFC East and you a Giant fan, you a Commander fan, or you a Cowboy fan, I'm not listening to y'all talk about the Eagles. I watch the Eagles. I see what the Eagles do. Like, I don't know what else y'all want from the Eagles, bro. Like, the Eagles are a team that dominated the Super Bowl and steamrolled the NFL last year, and they're undefeated, and they're like, what's wrong with the Eagles? Absolutely nothing. Like, they're finding ways to win close games the way that Eagles always win. Then when y'all see the Eagles put it together, AJ Brown got 100, Devontae got 100, and Saquon got 100, and Jalen Hurts got 50, 60 yards rushing, y'all gonna be scratching y'all head because their opponent's gonna get beat by 50. Like, they play bad and beat good teams. He said y'all were iffy about Javonte Williams. Who said they was iffy about Javonte Williams? I said I thought that Javonte Williams and y'all getting blue from Texas would be a step up. Hey, look, y'all need a Q-tip. I promise you, like, I'm gonna call y'all every time y'all say something about what I said. I can tell y'all exactly what I said. I literally said Cowboys have had the best offseason I've seen them have in a long time. I think if they could do it with Rico Dowdle, getting Javonte Williams off the Broncos and adding blue with them would be an increase. Miles Sanders was fumbling the ball early in the season. Y'all gotta listen to what don't listen to what you want to hear and what you think I said. Go back to what I exactly said about the Cowboys. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, I know exactly what I said. And I can't help it that Blue can't learn the playbook because I think he's a talented running back. I would have him playing over Miles Sanders. Becker, if the Titans was 4-0 and people was asking what's wrong, I mean, I could be the Ravens. Lamar Jackson could be hurt. They could be 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be one of those teams. And just think, everybody wrote the Chiefs off. They blow out the Ravens, and then Joe Alt gets hurt, and the Chargers lose both their tackles and lose a game. Like, now if the Chargers don't have both their tackles, they're gonna come back to the pack, and the Chiefs are gonna emerge. Look like Tyquan Thornton is their vertical guy now, and they got Xavier Worthy back. They're not chipping on both. Like, Corey, if you're gonna play Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, and you got twin tight end set, why on earth would you not have a tight end on both sides? Like, even if I had both the tight ends on Danielle Hunter, I would send the other guy to the other side to double up. Like, bro, y'all, they're gonna both chip and release the whole quarter, so don't even edge rush. Just drop back in coverage. You like Maffa? But I mean, Javonte Williams is like a between the tackle guy that ain't gonna kill you. Blue is a dude that if y'all get him right out the backfield catching the ball, he's a home run type of running back. Boy. I Discord open too if anybody disagree with anything I'll be saying, bro. I've been dead on everything. and another one is whatchamacallit. Another one is
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Well, I told y'all Daniel Jones was gonna be the best free agent QB that I would sign. I told y'all that shit all season, and I said, what are the Vikings gonna look like if they get rid of Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, and both of them play good, and JJ McCarthy injury prone ass turn out to do nothing? I said that emphatically all off season, and what happened? JJ McCarthy, injury prone ass is hurt. They got Carson Wentz out there, and Daniel Jones balling, and Sam Darnold is balling. Educated Southern Po Negro Pinky, what up, Mr. College Football? Mr. College Football. What is going on, brother? Actually passed the ball on Sunday. It look like Benson will be out. Now we down our top 2 running backs. Becker, do you want me to cry for you, or if you being honest, I'm kind of celebrating that some of y'all good players ain't playing. What's the word, man? Just in here watching this Monday Night Football. Basine, what up? Talking Monday Night Football. Talking Tennessee Titans. is like how long is gonna be before somebody get fired? Why more than like, if y'all get rid of Callahan, you gotta take Chad Brinker with him. I don't want Brian Callahan to go by himself. I don't think he deserves that. I think Chad Brinker got to get in the suitcase with it. Titans gonna be broke. Titans still playing John Robinson. Titans still paying Rand. Titans still gonna be paying Mike, bro. Titans still paying everybody. They gonna be paying Callahan and his daddy, bro. They still gonna be eating good. Rex Ryan with them fake ass teeth. Hey, Rex Ryan might have the best set of veneers on earth. Rex Ryan teeth, his veneers, they done stood the test of time, bro. Nah, Titans need a young coach with some energy, bro. That ain't gonna listen to the people that's in there trying to get a stadium built, or in there trying to have a relationship.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Marry into the Adams family and shit. He does, but that Joker can coach defense. Yeah, he can. But I mean, think about it, like, dunk on Snead. Everybody dunk on Snead. Fuel Spill and Warrior, damn. Man, Bengals is ass, bro. No Joe Burrow. Bengals is ass. Hey, Bengals gone trade for Shedeur Sanders, man. Fuck it. What other candidates do you have out there right now? To be honest, Cliff Kingsbury, Flores, and Joe Brady is the ones that people in Nashville want. But them boys gonna be coaching all the way through January. They gonna playoff teams, so Mike McCarthy being a name that's been floating. And as much as Titan fans want to laugh and Cowboy fans want to laugh, if the Tennessee Titans had a coach, that could get them into the playoffs every year, clean up all this mess, and have enough professionalism about himself to tell these owners and these owners' daughters and owners' sons get the hell out the kitchen and let me and Bergonzi go put this team back together. The guys won a Super Bowl before. He won't be having to deal with the dog and pony show he had to deal with in Dallas. It won't be really high expectations for him. It'd be an easy job for him. That's realistic because you have to get somebody that's not currently Joe Brady is coaching Josh Allen right now, offensive. He can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Cliff Kingsbury is coaching Jaden Daniels right now. He can't go nowhere. Flores can't go nowhere. But, you know, if you get somebody that's sitting on the side that can come right in and say, listen, you, and you get out the kitchen. L'Jarius Sneed, trade. Calvin Ridley, you gonna try to fix this? Or you want to get traded? You want out? Big Jeff, here go you a big ass check. Roger McCurry, thank you for these 4 years. Here you go, you a check. Chig, we gonna get you to Baltimore. Here's a check. You've been the best talented tight end we had since Jonnu Smith. All right, now who's out there? Can we get Tariq Woolen? Can we bring him in? Seahawks don't want to pay him. Let's pay him. Come on. You know, can we get Kyle Pitts? The Falcons don't want to pay you. Come on, Kyle Pitts. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get JC Latham healthy. We got some swing tackles now. Let's see if we can go get us a young running back. If Tajay Spears can't stay healthy, if Khalil Mullins can't stay healthy, guys that's supposed to be the future at running back, because Tony Pollard ain't got that much gas left in him before he give out. He said problem with EA buyout, Saudi with the politics and views. Okay, what's the difference between that and having we gonna have Israel, we gonna have Muslims, we gonna have this or that? Bro, it's private money. Like, put that shit above our pay grade. It's really not gonna fucking matter, bro. Half of our country is owned by China, is owned by Israel, and is owned by Saudi oil money. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, either they're gonna give me a better game to play, or the rest of the shit does not even gonna matter. Money supersedes politics. Flores, no. Kingsbury, not a good head coach. McCarthy, hell no. Say goodbye. Female models and sports. Eric Bieniemy is forgetting guy. I don't even know if Eric Bieniemy want to be a head coach no more though. Spagnuolo, but I mean, like, all of these are guys, are coordinators that haven't panned out a head coach. That's why I say, like, for what the Titans have, Mike McCarthy would fit. For what the Titans have, Mike McCarthy would fit. The reason why I say Mike McCarthy is, like, you just hired a head coach who had to go on the podium and admit to the fan base, I was overwhelmed calling plays and coaching. You see what I'm saying? Like, dude don't know the rules. He mismanaging timeouts and end of halves. He getting penalties after taking 2 timeouts. He don't know the personnel on certain situations. He's just overwhelmed. The job is too much for him. You need to get somebody who, being a head coach in Dallas, can't be more overwhelming than being a head coach on the Titans. 32 out of 32 teams in ticket sales, 32 out of 32 teams in TV viewership. Literally, like, financially the worst team in the NFL. Bring a coach that's won a Super Bowl and had to deal with Jerry Jones, and he come deal with Bud Adams' daughter. Like, that's gotta be easy for him. If he does nothing other than play 500 football and make it where the Tennessee Titans don't get 2 penalties and have to kick a 60-yard field goal before half, or run screen plays where all 3 receivers block and Cam Ward have to eat the ball and give up points before half because you didn't know how to clock a half out. Certain stuff like that just can't fly. Like, just make it look like a real football team. John Gruden, why would I want John Gruden? What the fuck has, like, I'm sorry to say this, what has John Gruden done? What has John Gruden done? John Gruden got fired for a bunch of racist emails. He's recreated himself as being a Gruden grinder, doing that shit. And he won with an all-world team that was left to him by by Dungy. Literally came in and did nothing. How did he look on the Raiders? On the Raiders, he got receivers with machine guns, receivers that kill people. You traded Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack off. Like, bro, I don't want John Gruden in Nashville. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's more of the same, bro. I need somebody either young who got energy, that's gonna energize the program, or somebody who's gonna be the professional. Realistically, you're gonna have somebody who is a coordinator that you trying to see if they could be a head coach, but that just didn't work. Callahan was the one that coached Matt Stafford and Manning and Joe Burrow to a Super Bowl. You tried the hot coordinator route, it didn't work. Just get a head coach that's gonna solidify shit here. Tennessee Titans would be fine with 500 ball and a wild card every other year. That's what I'm saying. Like, John Gruden, Rex Ryan, all them dudes just need to stay on the set and just talk sports. Like, I enjoy them better there. That's why I say, like, you have a Flores, you have Cliff Kingsbury, you have Joe Brady. Those are the three coordinators that people want to see. Kind of like Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, coordinators that's getting their shot to run teams. Bro, just give me somebody give me somebody that know if your receiver catch the ball and they knee and their body go down without 2 feet, that it's a catch to challenge it. Give me somebody that knows that you don't take a penalty and kick a 60-yard field goal after having burned 2 timeouts. You got a rookie quarterback up 6-3 on the Broncos on the road with the ball. The Broncos ain't got no timeouts, and you call 3 pass plays from the 7 and wind up giving up points. I don't need that head coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that head coach making those type of mistakes. Just give me somebody who knows, like, the most simple of things, like, hey, it's 3rd and 12, we in the red zone. We're not gonna run the ball with a 4th string running back and Julius Chestnut and try to kick a field goal with a field goal kicker that's missed his last 3 kicks. Like, bro, like, I need somebody that's at least gonna have them. The Titans lead the league in drops and lead the league in penalties. I don't know if I just need a coach that know how to coach basic shit. They said Lion fans wanted 500 ball for consecutive seasons. I'm confused what that even means. Hire Tom Brady or Dion, maybe hire Michael. No, Michael Irvin, no. Dion, no, because Shador didn't come to Nashville. Tom Brady is a partial owner of the Raiders. He can't. I'm telling y'all, bro, like, either you gonna let Brian Callahan rock it out, him and Chad Brinker gotta go, and then try to get Joe Brady or Cliff Kingsbury or Brian Flores, or those 3, or just go get Mike McCarthy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotta be one of those options. It's gotta be one of those options. That's what I'm saying. Like, the problem ain't with the Titans. The problem ain't firing coaches. Your GM got mad and fired John Robinson. He did some shit worthy of being fired. Our offensive coordinator, Pinky, you remember we beat y'all? Titans beat the Packers. Traylon Burks caught a big catch on what's the boy? Jair. He caught a big catch on Jair. We beat y'all on Thursday night. Todd Downing got a DUI that same night. It was a lot going on behind the scenes, and then it just started kind of tumbling. They fired John Robinson. They hired Rand Carthon. Rand Carthon fired and hired Chad Brinker. They fired Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel wanted more control of the personnel. They didn't want to relinquish power, right? You get Mike Vrabel out. You hire Brian Callahan. Then they turn around and fire Rand. You think Brinker would go with him. Brinker is retained. They bring in Bergonzi. Now Brinker and Bergonzi get together, and now they using Brian Callahan as the fall guy. So you fire GM, coach, GM. Now you about to fire another coach. The GM that's there now, Bergonzi, people was like, why you want to trade Snead? Bergonzi traded Snead off the Chiefs to the Titans and got a 3rd round pick. He don't like, that's where the disconnect with Snead is Rand Carthon traded for Snead. Bergonzi traded Snead. Now Bergonzi takes over for Rand Carthon, and here's the guy that was your old boss that fired you and sent you to another job and didn't want to pay you. Now you in Nashville and he's your boss. Snead already has a Super Bowl and $90 million. He has no reason to play hard in Nashville because he's playing for the person that traded him. Now y'all see, I'm not just saying get rid of Snead for the sake of it. I'm saying he don't want to be there. Bergonzi got to get Chad Brinker snake ass out. But Bergonzi got to get Callahan and his daddy out the way. Hire a coach that he wants. That's why I'm saying it makes sense for him to get Mike McCarthy. Bring him in. Get Snead out of there. Get some young players in. Win more than 3 games the rest of the season. You got 15 games. You're gonna have 15 games left. 13 games left. Give me 4 games out of 13. Give me 5. Give me a handful of games and say you could turn it around and get some stability around Cam Ward. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see with Brian Callahan being overwhelmed and him not having the support for. He think he got support from the out front, bro. If the front office traded Jarvis Brownlee, sending the coach out there to talk about trading your best cornerback off at 24 years old doesn't make sense. You need the GM to go say, we felt it was right to move him. I wouldn't put that on the coach. Because when you send the coach out there, all the players in the press conference was like, we were surprised and shocked by it. The player was surprised and shocked by it. We don't know why. So when you asking Brian Callahan, he don't even know to the extent of why they wanted to move him. And they got nothing back. I don't think the coaching pool is great, but I think anything that they do gonna be better than what we got. A pass happy coach. Brian Callahan is a pass happy coach. They was part of the reason why they wanted to move on from Derrick Henry. They wanted to go to a pass first offense. But I know one thing. I know Mike McCarthy won't have 2 receivers stacked right side and send a 3rd receiver over there, and all 3 of them think they supposed to block, and Cam Ward got to take a sack because the 3 receivers on the side, none of them are trying to catch the ball. All 3 of them are blocking. It was the dumbest I've ever seen. Backed up on your own goal line, you call a screen pass where all 3 receivers are blocking, and your quarterback can't throw the ball because all 3 of them got their back turned blocking. It's crazy. Chronic, what's good, bro? I don't know. That's what need to happen in Nashville, bro. No, I said either you're going to get a young coach like Kingsbury, Flores, or Joe Brady, or you got to wait to the end of the season to get one of those guys, or you bring in a guy like Mike McCarthy that's just sitting. If you can't make it to the end of the year, you got to hire McCarthy now. If you can make it to the end of the year, then those are the 3 guys. But those guys going to be coaching playoff teams. You know, this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one's coaching Jaden Daniels, one coaching Josh Allen, bro. They're going to be in the playoffs. So at that point, you got to wait to damn near February to hire a coach that may not want to coach for you. They said Ryan is 62. But McCarthy only been out of coaching for 1 year though. It's not like he finna coach a decade in Nashville. You just need somebody that's gonna solidify, you know, you want somebody that's gonna solidify the contract of Cam Ward. So you saying for the next 3 years that would give Cam Ward stability that he gonna be there, because you don't draft a quarterback number one to not think that he's gonna make it through your first contract and be signed for another contract. So realistically, you looking at Cam Ward for the next 8 years. Then two, Pinky, Titans open up a new stadium next season on the Cumberland River. So it's like you opening up a new stadium, you want somebody that can handle that. What's a bigger stadium than Cowboy Stadium for McCarthy? So like opening up a new stadium won't be too much for him. Brian Callahan, calling plays is too much for him. He's had to admit calling plays is too much for him. So like, what you think Brian Callahan gonna do with a new stadium if he can't call plays, bro? Like, but even if they got the number one pick next year, they're gonna trade back. They're for sure trading back next season. And with the quarterback class coming up, I think they did right by taking Cam now. I mean, what quarterback would you pick number one next year? Damn sure ain't Drew Aller. It ain't Lenora Sellers. Even if he was coming out, it ain't Arch Manning or DJ Lagway. It ain't K Klubnik. He got a losing record right now, don't he? Nah, they can't deal with no offense, no college coach coming up. You need an NFL guy. They said Caleb Downs. They don't need another safety. If the Titans trade back next year, they need to draft the biggest, nastiest defensive lineman on earth, or the best cornerback that comes out. I'm thinking the biggest, nastiest D lineman, like that plays edge. New stadium, new style of coaching. That's Johnny. What up? How I do in the MCS challenge. Man, I had I played a clean game, bro. I'm gonna put the link to it. If any of y'all ain't checked it out, I played Skimbo in my singular limbs. I played a lot of top players this year, but I played a clean game, bro. Like, to be honest, when I say I played a clean game, like, I didn't make no mistakes. I didn't turn the ball over. It's just when I got the ball last, I didn't have enough time. I got a shot in the end zone from about the 40 or 45. So like, that's about all you could ask for. I made him fumble one time. I didn't recover it. He threw two passes that probably should have been picked. I didn't get, but outside of that, I wasn't looking for begging for no breaks or no shit. I played a clean game. Like, I bombed him. I ran the ball. I got to stop at the end of the game when I needed to. Like, I feel like I played it. I did everything I was supposed to do. But that's Madden, bro. When you play Madden at a high level, the people that you're going to have to play to get there, like, that shit going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me, that's all I can do is get myself to the singular limbs and give myself a shot. Because when you look back at the games he played, I probably gave him his toughest game through day one. Because once you get in, you got to win 7 games to get to the live. So, I mean, if you look back at his games, like, outside of the game he actually lost to get in, like, I probably gave him the toughest one. Maybe Becker. But that's the link. Yeah, I put it in all the chats so y'all can see it. Nevin, what up? Johnny Kenny Voss, what up? Man, Bengals look ass. Broncos 2-2, Bengals 2-2, trending down without Joe Burrow. But yeah, that's where the Titans is at, and that's what they got to do, and that's what they got to dig deep and figure out who they want to be. I just think that Derrick Henry being in Nashville for a decade masked a lot of holes. Because Derrick Henry came in behind Mariota, and you think about Mariota, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Jeffrey Simmons, Corey Davis, Adoree Jackson. Like, they had a stretch where they was picking some top talent, and whether you want to admit it or not, A.J. Brown is a top receiver in the league. Derrick Henry is a top back in the league. Marcus Mariota is still starting, playing games for the Commanders, still winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, Adoree Jackson is a starting cornerback on the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just look around. Harold Landry is a starting edge for the Patriots. And he's putting up numbers like guys that we draft, we're not signing them to long deals. And we're not retaining the talent that we have. And Jarvis Brownlee is another one of those. That's why I say pay Jeffrey Simmons some money. Pay Roger McCreary early. If you're not going to try to trade and get Kyle Pitts, go ahead and sign Chig. He's the most talented tight end we've had since Jonnu, who we should have been able to sign if we didn't have messed up money. Jonnu Smith was probably the most talented tight end we've had outside of Delaney Walker in the last decade. You just look around at the guys that we've had and not signed, Jack Conklin. You just look around, bro. Like, we should have kept Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is still playing good for the Bears. We haven't had a free safety better than Kevin Byard since he left. You see what I'm saying? Like, in certain situations, like, if you just go back and look at the positions where we had guys, if we just retained our own talent on a team that's not a traditional legacy team in the NFL, like, we'd be fine. No, I'm glad that damn emotional ass Packer versus Cowboys. Man, that game was kind of crazy. Why, hey, Pinky, why did the Packers take so long on that last drive? If you was in my stream, I'm watching the game and we watching the end. I'm like, bro, they should be getting on the ball. Like, they ain't got but 2 minutes. Like, they should be trying to, like, it was like first down from like the 12, and y'all was just taking y'all time. Like, bro, get on the ball. You can still pick up another first down and spike it. Like, that then almost let the time run out and lost the game. Like, I just didn't. And then, like, was Josh Jacobs hurt? Tell me Jameis wouldn't do a better option quarterback throwing to Chase and Higgins. Now, the Bengals might trade for Russ, or they might trade for Jameis. Hey, Eugene, why you lie? Why, bro? Why did this nigga lie earlier, bro? Like, but I don't understand why niggas lie. This nigga said he was 170 something and 20 something and had 6,200 points. I go to this nigga live stream, and this nigga is got 5,600 points. 127 and 21. That's a great record. But why lie and say you got there and you didn't get it? I mean, I love y'all niggas, bro. Now it's like, damn, bro, you played 100 games this weekend? Yeah, man. Like, okay, bro. I'm a Titan through and through, but this season got me wondering who the hell is running the team. You know, let these people go in for what? AJ Brown got rid of Mike and has been done Twitter since then. Bro, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hitting the follow, Ryan. Man, this is the home for Tennessee Titan Talk. But, like, Chad Brinker and Burke Nihill has got to take some fall in this situation. They didn't want Mike Vrabel to get power after they ran out John Robinson. Right? They said Mike Vrabel was too powerful. They didn't want Vrabel to have all the power. So they get together with Chad Brinker and they run Mike Vrabel off. Then they say Callahan is it. He's the smash hit hire. Now they making Callahan go to the podium and speak for Jarvis Brownlee trade like he's got nothing to do with that. Now you making all these weird moves. You let Harold Landry go. You signed Draymond Jones and keep Arden Key. What person in their right mind would say, let's get rid of Harold Landry and keep Draymond Jones and Arden Key? Well, they brought Draymond Jones in after, but let's keep. Wouldn't you get rid of Arden Key and not pick up Draymond Jones and put Harold Landry and let Jalen Harrell play behind Landry at spell? And then draft Femi Oluwadejo with T Sweat and with Jeffrey Simmons? Like, don't that make more sense? All the moves they making not making sense. So then it was like Rand's lazy. Rand wasn't lazy. Y'all ran off because he made some moves with some free agent signings. But maybe Rand could get more out of Snead and Calvin Ridley than this set can. Why? Because Bergonzi traded Snead off the Chiefs to the Titans for a 3rd round pick. Now he's the guy that's over Snead, and Snead is not playing hard. Like, I think that's it, Ryan. Like, I think they trying to make it be Callahan is in over his head. He's brought in to be a yes man to fit into what the optics that they wanted, and it's not working. But you can't say Callahan is a failure without saying Chad Brinker isn't a failure too, because he's got to go somebody got to be accountable more than just Rand, because you was in the room with him. Now they say, oh, Jarvis Brownlee is the reason why the locker room. But you was in there while they picked Jarvis Brownlee. Like, you didn't vet him before y'all drafted him, Chad Brinker? Nah, he's just over football personnel. He didn't have nothing to do with Brownlee. He's getting rid of a cancer. But then Snead is telling the media that trash talking Nico Collins and getting dunked on 2nd and 33, he doesn't have to be accountable for it. Come on, man. Like, that was like... That's the guy that's gonna teach Jarvis Brownlee and the other young cornerbacks? Nah, man, it ain't making sense, Ryan. I think Mike Vrabel was a person that even if we had a bad roster could get the team to play hard. He just never could find an offensive coordinator. EJ, what up? Becker, I don't know why. That was just blatant out and out. If you notice, go back and look at how my face was. I'm like, damn, I was watching bro stream the other night. Bro had like 100 wins and 15, 20 losses. Like, I know you got to get the 200 wins to get in there. Like, damn, bro, you played 100 games? Yeah. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm saying I'm not playing 200 games. Hey, more power to you. People just lie just to lie. But think about it, Becker. How could a person beat me in debate if they're not honest about shit like that? to be honest, Ryan, sign Roger McCreary, sign Jeff to a long-term deal. If you're not gonna make a trade to get Kyle Pitts, sign Chig, because Chig is the most talented tight end we've had since Jonnu, and Jonnu was the most talented we had since Delaney Walker, and they let Jonnu walk. He led tight ends in touchdowns last season on the Dolphins, and is now on the Steelers, winning football games. and now we got Chig, so it's like sign those guys, retain those guys. I think the Snead's got to go. Looking at the market is going to be hard with Ridley, unless the team's really desperate. But I don't see any young wide receivers that we could pick up and trade for and sign. But I do see Tariq Woolen out there. So I think Tariq Woolen is somebody that they should get rid of Snead, try to go get Tariq Woolen, sign him to a deal, and then come into next year's draft saying we're gonna make the team as best as we can right now. But next draft, like we have to deal with that pick and try to get more out of it to go around Cam. But I do think with this upcoming draft class, I do think picking Cam made sense and is the best long-term move for the Titans for the next 7-8 years. JC Latham comes back. What do you get in Tajay Spears when he comes back? Got a lot of holes. I just never understood it not signing Nick Westbrook or Kene. And then now, do we have a receiver on the team better than Nick Westbrook? Ailmanter's a good secondary piece. DK is going to grow in the slot. They need to put Restrepo in. They need to let DK and Restrepo get Tyler Lockett's reps. But Van Jefferson could do everything that Calvin really could do right now until we figure it out. But I think Nick Westbrook would have been fine in this offense. Gunnar Helm, once he gets the blocking down, he's going to be straight. But if I could bring in Kyle Pitts with Gunnar Helm and let Chig rock, if we could get that. If not, sign Chig and keep Gunnar Helm, let Gunnar Helm grow. Like, Titans got a lot of holes, bro. Like, roster's bad. Kenyatta, what up? Becker, did that make sense to you? HBK, what up? Never.
Let me teach you
Becker,
how to
did that
vibe.
make sense to you? I just didn't understand it. All right, so what should I play, y'all? Should I do head-to-head seasons? Ranked is just a waste of time, bro. Like, when does ranked end? In a day and 10 hours? I'm not playing that many games. I'm good with what I got. I could play events. Should I play events or should I play head-to-head seasons? He looked like he started off good yesterday, and then they said said he banged himself up in the game. That's why he didn't get to play. That's why he didn't play that many snaps. Where am I from? I'm from Florence, Alabama, but I live in Birmingham, Alabama. So I was born on the Tennessee River. Like, I got I had as much family in Mississippi and Tennessee as I do Alabama growing up. That's how I got to be a Titan fan. Where you from, Ryan? I've been partnered on Facebook for some years, making Titan content, playing competitive Madden, talking sports, talking lifestyle. The first part of my stream, like, if you could see, I've been live since for about 3 hours. I just talk to the chat, and people can hop in the Discord, talk. People can, whatever questions they want to ask. I'm live on Facebook, Kick, Twitch, and YouTube right now. So kind of what I do. But I do tournaments and all kind of stuff. So like we got a tournament website. I've been competing a lot, so we ain't been doing a lot, but we will get those back popping.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Gotcha. My wife grew up Tennessee River. I used to work in Franklin, Tennessee, but I'm from Martin, Tennessee. We used to live in Martin, Tennessee, in a small college town. I got you. My grandmother, so when she died, her house was purchased by Lane College. She used to live on the same street as Lane College. Like you could see that campus from in Jackson, Tennessee. And my first cousin, rest in peace, he went to Free Hardeman, the Bible school, and like they have a scholarship named after him at that school. And then my great aunt has a scholarship at Lane College named after. So like we got a lot of roots in Tennessee. Then I got one of my other cousins plays music. He plays guitar in Nashville, so he been in Nashville for 30 years. I still got a lot of friends and family in Nashville and all over Tennessee. UT Martin, yup. Cause see, like where I'm from is like the shows is 20 minutes. Like I could ride my bike to the Tennessee state line from my middle school. Then if you went like 30 minutes, like 20 minutes past where my dad lived at up Carver Mountain, you'd be in Mississippi in 20, 30 minutes. So like I'm like we so far in the corner of the state, like on the Tennessee River, that like to get from Florence to Muscle Shoals, like my mom had to cross the Tennessee River to get to work. My dad worked on the Tennessee River, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, like that's where we was at. Decaturville, which is pretty much Parsons. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Tap in, follow the channel, man. This what we do. Like after every Bama game, after every Titan game, and at nights I be playing competitive Madden. So we just talk sports. It's a chill community. There's a lot of Colts, Jaguars, Texans, Cowboys, a lot of other teams that hang out in here because I'm unbiased. I'm probably like one of the most unbiased people you gonna find. And I'm not in the Titans media like no official media person, but when they do they yearly recast, I always be in like they top creators of people that just make Titan content. So like all the usuals that you bump into, like a lot of them, like I rock out with a lot of those people. So I've been a Titan fan since they got to Nashville, so I'm a Steve McNair loyalist. Day one. So anytime you want to talk Titans, man, I'm here. So we got a lot of fellow Titans that be in the chat. Corey DKT, E2, TKD Master. It's a lot of Titans that be hanging out. Morocco, RJ, Titans Coliseum, Mr. Titan. It's a lot of people. I mess with everybody. I ain't one of them people that if I disagree with you, we ain't friends. That ain't most of my chat, and most of all of us in the community, like we all disagree about everything. So that's kind of the sauce that we be on. Like we disagree with everybody on everything. Man, I wish the Titans was getting some cards though. A watch along this Sunday. Oh yeah, for sure. Cardinals, Titans. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Man, Becker, this man said he top 100 and John B. says ain't even top 100 yet. Boy, that disappointed me, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if I'm going to even say nothing to him about that shit. I'm going to just be like, hey, bro, you got it. I can't believe it came in here and lied to me like that. Like, bro, of all people you going to lie to about something like that. Like, why me? Of all people. Honestly, man, of all people you would lie to about something like that, why me? Yeah, DRC and Cromartie in the same week is kind of cheap. Oh yeah, for sure, Ryan. Becker, you ain't never had nothing like this, have you? All right, look, this is PL. I'm gonna get into some gameplay when I gotta use the bathroom. But y'all let me know when I come back in about 2 minutes if we doing head-to-head seasons or we doing events. Man, what y'all want to see? We on head-to-head rank or we on seasons? We on. Let's see what the event is. Still unstoppable. I'm gonna just play head-to-head seasons, bro. Where we at with viewership? Bro, I ain't even gonna cap. If y'all watching on Facebook, man, make sure y'all tap in on Kick or Twitch. I'll drop them in the chat. I'm about to end the Facebook and the YouTube. I'll probably throw some clips up. I'll probably throw some clips up. Make sure y'all tap in. I'm gonna end and start back up where we can play some music and stuff. We can't play music in certain podcasts.